All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're dissecting a genuinely fascinating digital asset called Little Hearts Bible Tales. Our goal here is to objectively tear this thing down to completely understand its mechanics, who it's actually for, and its real-world value. Whether you're a digital seller, a content creator, or just someone curious about how massive online product launches actually work, well, there is a ton of valuable intel to unpack today.
To make sense of this whole offer, we're going to look at the $5 proposition, take a peek inside the Storybook, explain unrestricted PLR, examine the market opportunity, reveal the sales funnel, and then give a final, objective review verdict on whether it actually delivers.
Section 1. The $5 proposition. So the front-end launch price for this entire collection is just $5. Now, let's be honest, whenever you see a price point this aggressively low for what's supposed to be a massive digital asset, it immediately raises some eyebrows, right? You have to ask yourself, what exactly is the catch here, and does the quality actually hold up to any real scrutiny?
What's really wild here is the dramatic juxtaposition the vendor sets up. They estimate a replacement value of over $8,000 if you were to try and build this from scratch. I mean, think about it. Hiring professional copywriters for 100 stories, commissioning custom illustrations, buying commercial licenses. Pitting an $8,000 value against a $5 price tag is a classic heavy-hitting marketing hook. But it absolutely forces us to ask, what exactly are you getting for a single $5 bill?
Section 2. Inside the Storybook.
Of course, those high-value claims mean literally nothing if the product is garbage, so let's verify what's actually inside. The core product is a 100-story illustrated children's book aimed specifically at kids aged 3 to 8, and the source material really emphasizes that this isn't just some cherry-picked highlight reel. It promises a genuinely complete narrative journey, going all the way from Genesis to Revelation, written entirely in simple kid-friendly language.
And this artwork perfectly illustrates the vendor's main claim. You've got these vibrant, custom illustrations for David and Goliath and Jonah and the big fish. The independent review points out something super important. Every single one of the 100 stories has its own dedicated, high-quality custom illustration. So they aren't just relying on cheap copy-pasted stock photos, they've actually built purpose-made artwork for every single narrative.
Spanning right from baby Moses in the Old Testament to Jesus feeding the 5,000 in the New Testament, the sheer breadth of content is huge. Visuals are exactly how young kids engage with a story, and these depictions prove there's genuine investment in the front-end product. For $5, this volume and consistency of artwork really makes the asset stand out.
Section 3. Unrestricted PLR explained. But here's the thing. You aren't just buying a book to read to your kids at bedtime. You're buying a very specific business license. Unrestricted private label rights, or PLR, goes way beyond your standard resale rights. It grants you full ownership and total creative freedom. We're talking no royalties, no attribution required, and absolutely no approval process. You can sell it, chop it up, modify it, slap your very own name on it as the author, and, best of all, keep 100% of the profits.
So how does this actually translate into concrete action steps? Well, a digital seller can take this single $5 asset, rebrand it, and break those 100 stories into smaller, themed series. Think like 10 Stories of Jesus or 10 Old Testament Heroes. From there, they can list those newly created books directly on platforms like Amazon KDP, Etsy, or Gumroad. It's essentially ready-made inventory for digital publishers.
Section 4. The Market Opportunity.
Now, you might be asking, why target this specific niche instead of just general, everyday children's books? Well, objective market research reveals something pretty fascinating. Faith-based publishing is growing at a massive rate. In fact, overall U.S. Bible sales just hit a 20-year high. There is a surging, highly measurable demand in this space, and smart digital sellers are paying very close attention to it.
And this quote from the independent review really hits the nail on the head. Parents and religious educators are reoccurring buyers. They are not trend chasers. The children's faith category is relatively unsaturated, but more importantly, it's driven by intense, reoccurring loyalty. If a parent buys a storybook they love, they don't just stop there. They come back for the coloring book, the activity guide, and the Christmas special.
Section 5. The sales funnel. Okay, so this brings us to the inevitable question. If the market is so great, and the product is this huge, what is the catch? Well, the catch is simply a staggering back-end sales funnel. While the front end gets you the complete 100-story book for $5, you are immediately going to be hit with 13 additional one-time offers right after your purchase. Audiobooks, video versions, extra marketing materials, it's a literal marathon.
However, the review is very clear. You do not need to buy a single one of those upgrades to fully use the core stories.
Section 6. Final Review Verdict. So, weighing all these factors together gives us a very fair, objective picture. On the pros side, you get incredible volume, 100 custom illustrations, and full unrestricted PLR for a one-time fee of just $5. But on the cons side, the reviewer heavily emphasizes that this is a raw content asset. It is not a magic business builder. Your income is going to depend entirely on your own marketing hustle, and yeah, you do have to survive a gauntlet of 13 upsells just to get to your download link. Ultimately, the independent reviewer awards the product a highly positive 4.6 out of 5. A major factor driving this high score is the 30-day no-questions-asked money-back guarantee, which essentially drops your risk as a buyer down to absolute zero. For a $5 bill, the value proposition of the content itself is just undeniably strong. Let's leave off with this final thought from the source material. A parent who loves the product you build from this does not just buy once. They come back for the activity companion, the coloring book, the Christmas special. When you factor in the lifetime value of a loyal repeat customer base in a growing niche like this, is a $5 upfront investment the easiest business decision a digital seller can make today? Or does the real work truly begin only after that file is downloaded?